Hello and welcome to another Tiny Seeds edition. Before we carry on, I just want to say to everybody that I've got an eye infection and a very swollen eye. Nobody hit me. Been to the doctor. Antibiotic stuff inside and dosing upon lysine in case it is shingles, which I've never had before, so I wouldn't know what it feels like. But it's as long as I don't mess around with it, it's not too painful. So, all right, so today what we are talking about is a follow-up from the previous week. And in the previous week, we have been talking about what it is like to be with highly reactive people. I had a lot of comments. A lot of people are responding to this because obviously a lot of us are living with highly reactive people, and a lot of us are highly reactive people, and sometimes there are two highly reactive people in a relationship. It makes it a bit messy. So what I was saying is that if it's our job when we are in a highly reactive relationship to step out of it, to step out of the hamster wheel, to not be part of it anymore. There's a very important reason for this. So as long as we are other directed, then our lives are not our own. So somebody's having a huge reaction, an overreaction, anger attack, a judgment attack, verbal abuse, any kind of big reaction. And one of the big reactions is also withdrawing. Then we tend to change who we are according to that person's reaction and also according to what we expect that person's reaction is all about, because we put interpretations on that. So somebody is angry at us and don't talk to us, we also stop talking to them. Now, we don't need to do that. This is the most important thing that we have to understand, that we are grown-ups. Once we get to past a certain place, which is childhood, we don't need to participate in every single thing that doesn't work for us. We actually have a free choice to stop, step out of it and go like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to withdraw. I don't want to bun fight. I don't want to lay in the aisles kicking my feet in the air because I didn't get my way. I want to be who I am. And hopefully we get to a place where who I am is an adult. And an adult have free choice. An adult have free choice over every moment how we are going to respond. We don't need to become part of somebody else's overreactions or withdrawing. So say I'm in a relationship where I have a partner who is withdrawing, then I choose not to participate, and then I will just mention, okay, I notice that you've been quiet. It feels to me that you are withdrawing, but I choose not to be part of it. So withdraw if you want to. Don't withdraw if you don't want to. I want you to know I'm not happy with that. I would prefer that you are here and talk about things with me, whatever it is, if there is something. I'm not going to assume for you. I do want to let you know it's not okay for me. I am in this relationship because I want to have a relationship with you. And that means we need to talk through things. If you don't do that, we can't. I'm not going to take part. I'm just going to be myself. So we can say that, or we can just do that. I prefer saying it at least once in my life, because then the other person knows the game is up. And it's important that somebody else knows the game is up, because these games are automatic games. We don't plan them. We are trained that way. We've observed our parents. Our parents have let us be children without power for a long time. And then we grow up and we are still behaving like children without power. We are not. We are grown-ups. We can talk about stuff. So when we start calling it what it is and we step out of it, the other person now has a clear choice. Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe I am withdrawing. Maybe I am punishing somebody with silence. Maybe I am not using my voice. But then it becomes a clear choice. So, or when somebody is highly reactive, there are a few things that we have to remember. The first is, it's better to have a conversation, but not in the middle of the shitstorm. When somebody's having a huge overreaction, that's not when you want to be holy and, I've got this. I'm so good at this. I'm so calm. It's just like, I'm going to leave you. Oh, we'll talk when everything is calm. It's fine. And you don't have to say that always. Sometimes you can just let it be. And when everybody is calm is the time to say, I experienced that as an overreaction. You decide if it was or not. I'm not going to decide for you, but I don't want to be part of it anymore. And then we can start saying various things, and always one thing at a time. I'm not going to be part of withdrawing anymore. I'm not going to be part of punishing silences anymore. I'm wanting to be an adult in a relationship. Therefore, I will not be part of punishing silences. You're doing this all by yourself. I'm not part of it anymore. I will speak and behave as normal. It doesn't mean I agree with you. It doesn't mean it's okay to me. It just means I am not willing to be influenced by your silence anymore. I am going to remain me. And that's what I mean by, instead of being over-directed, we become self-directed. Who am I really inside? Don't want to be a child playing a game, even if it is an unconscious game that I'm playing as a leftover from my childhood. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to talk over people. I don't want people to talk over me. I don't want to shout at people. I don't want people to shout over me. I want to give people respect. I want people to give me mutual respect. And each of these ones, we mention one thing at a time, not a long list of you should, you shouldn't, and that's where you're wrong, and this not. This is a much more from my personal point of view. This is what I'm not going to do anymore, and I'll appreciate if you stop doing that too. It will be great because our relationship, which is important to me, will improve if there's no more shouting or if we allow each other to speak. So, one thing at a time. When we are calm, there was a lot of shouting, and I don't want to do this anymore. And the next time you shout at me, I will walk away. It may infuriate you even more, and that's fine with me because I'm done with it. I respect myself too much to stay when you choose to shout at me. I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, do it next time. Maybe there's more shouting, and do it the next time, and maybe there's more shouting. But when you get to the third time, that shouting is going to stop because there is no game if two people are not playing it. This is a game nobody can win. People shouting at each other, a game nobody can win. Somebody has to give in and be the least. If you start talking to each other, there are two people present in the room and we can negotiate. If one person shouts, the next one will start shouting soon. If there's shouting, there's no mutual respect for each other. There is no good relationship. There's only messing up and fixing and messing up and fixing. And a good relationship is nowhere really for a long time. Good relationships depend on talking to each other respectfully and negotiating. Okay, another example. Somebody who is defensive, a very big part of overreactions. So somebody who is defensive all the time, will turn it around and blame you, will project how they're feeling, and they will deny. They will deny to the death. No, no, no. Now, the minute when that stops, you can have a communication. If you're in the middle of a big overreaction, again, don't do anything. Leave it alone. Wait until everything is calm. Address one thing at a time. In this case, it is really hard for me. If I talk to you, and the first thing you're going to do is deny that it's present. This time, will you at least listen to me? Because maybe there's some truth to what I'm saying. Because there's a denying coming right now. And then people are going to get heated, and before long, people are shouting at each other. So that initial conversation, when I'm getting the buy-in, I need to have a conversation with you. I don't want anybody to get angry. I'd like us to listen to each other respectfully. Just want to say something to you. This is how I experience it. Really hard for me to ask you your input on something if you don't actually even want to look at it. If you just deny it, it's near impossible for us to change anything about it. If you think I've done something and I just deny it, you're going to get very frustrated with me. I don't want us to be frustrated with each other. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do it perfectly the first time, but I'm saying there's a better way than you're doing right now. What's this? Muffin. Okay. So, actually, it took a long time tonight. Hi, Muffin. So, your goal is to dial down the overreactiveness on your side, because there is no fight, no hamster wheel if two people don't take part. If you don't do it right, then if you appear superior, if you start judging the other person, if you start calling them names, and they are going to turn around and they're going to call you a mean person. If you do it from a we perspective, we are the team and I want us to work better on it, you have a way bigger chance for this to not be a mess. A lot of people mess it up right here. They don't have enough professional advice. They just want to jump in here and start applying the principles, and they don't understand the critical compartment of this. If you yourself only start pulling back from somebody else and get calm, then you are stepping out of it yourself. If you yourself are starting to blame the other person and judge them, even although you don't want to be blamed and judged by them anymore, you're still part of a cycle. If you are working on it as an adult, refusing to be part of the degradation of a cycle, but part of the building of a relationship, you start talking differently. You ask for somebody to commit to the process of talking about it. You do one thing at a time. You remain calm. You don't judge. You don't blame. You show up as yourself, who is actually a nice person. You neutralize your own instincts, your own triggers, and then you can actually start creating change in your own relationship. But you have to change yourself first. That's important. You really have to make sure that your triggers are neutralized. Because if your triggers are not neutralized, sooner or later you're going to blow up and explode again. So you stepping out of it doesn't mean you condone it. It means you are getting calm enough to say to the other person one short thing when everybody is calm, and ask for how you would like it to be different from this point forward. Most relationships can benefit from this one enormously. Okay, let me see if there's any questions. I think we are at the end of today's session. Hi, Charmaine. Nice to see you. Right. Let me just quickly check here. Give me a sec here. And I want to see why on earth did I not upload the really good question that I had. And I don't know where it is. Let me just give me a sec here to see if I can find it. I was really not very awake here, thinking that I have my question all uploaded. And now it's not even near me. Okay, so I hope this answers the question that I've received. And if there's anybody else who has any questions, you can, with the greatest pleasure, send me a message and email me or post here, and I will answer it. What I want to talk about next week is another interesting question that came up during all these emails and the remarks that I received, and that is, what do you do if you start to become healthier and suddenly, because you are healthier, you are being called a narcissist? Now, that is an unfortunate turn of events, but I'd like to talk about that next time. Okay, is there any more questions here? If there's no questions, then I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And I am going to, let me check here. So there's no more questions. I'm going to sign off now, and looking forward to see more comments from you. And also, if you're watching the rerun, then I'm going to come back. I'm going to check if there's any questions, any comments. And if you know somebody who's in a similar position, please share, because there's a lot of people in this world, easily 70 to 80% of the world are living in these very reactive stages. Remember to please leave me some hearts, share, comment. That makes Facebook show it to more people. And until next week Sunday, when I'll do another Sunday Seeds, love these ones, love these short ones. And thank you for watching, and thank you for everybody who comes in on the rerun, everybody who comes onto YouTube and also watch it. Please remember, keep on, like, share. Lots of love.